Hey loves, it's Kyle August here, and I'm here to answer a question that's what to do once you manifest a specific person. And I will tell you, it's going to be way easier than you think it is because that is a topic on everyone's mind all the time, right? So we're in a state now and we think, okay, once I get to the state of being with my specific person, am I going to have to be struggling and worrying and affirming and visualizing for the rest of my life? And the quick answer is no. So you can take a deep breath and know that it's not, manifestation's meant to be easy and effortless. So it's not going to end up that way. But something to think about. What you do need to do though is to continue acting from the state that you're in. Because think about, and this is a metaphor and a topic I love talking about because it makes so much sense, is to think about anything else. Well, right now in your reality, is there anything that wasn't there last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Is there something new that you do? Maybe a hobby or a habit? Do you run in the morning? Do you play piano? Do you play the guitar? Do you know a new language? Think of those subjects. Bring into your mind, think about it for just a moment, something that you have now, a subject, a state that you're in now that you didn't always have. And I want you to think about how you think about that state. So when it comes to waking up and running in the morning, is that now super habitual and automatic for you? Whereas 10 years ago, it seemed really, really difficult to wake up at 5 a.m. Or what about your new job, right? Your new job. I'm sure right now it seems so easy, but how did you feel when you first ever started that job? It probably wasn't as easy as it is at the current moment. And that is the Neville Goddard saying of imagination is going to follow habit. So whatever we're habitually doing, our imagination follows. So it's kind of a way where physiological change, so acting in accordance to the idea, can end up changing your assumptions, your beliefs, who you are, stuff like that. And so the more we habitually follow something, the easier it's going to be, right? Because that's imagination following our habit. But so with this in mind, think of, again, that new job, probably your most recent job. It was really difficult when you started. Now it's really easy. Because now, when you started, you weren't in the state of it. You weren't in the state of it being easy. It felt new, it felt different, it felt hard, right? But now you're so much more easily getting into the state of that when you show up at the job, it's instantaneous. You're in the state automatically. You just begin doing everything you need to do, right? And this is the same thing when it comes to manifesting your specific person. So once you're in the state of it, obviously there's going to be times when we have worries, we have doubts, we have fears, but that's completely normal when it comes to the grand scheme of things, right? But your overall state, and that's the whole purpose of kind of putting in that internal effort or work right now, is that we're going from the state that we were in to the state that we want to be in. And once we assume that state, everything's going to be easy because everything's going to be automatic. Like if I asked you what your name is, instantly you tell me what it is. What if you wanted to change your name? How soon, how quickly, how long would it take you to get used to that? You'd be like, well, it would take some time, right? Because we'd be like, if I want to change my name to Liam or Nicholas or something, I would look at Kyle first, and if I was trying to change it, it would take some time for me to kind of get used to it, but then that would be my state, and I'd hear Kyle, and I wouldn't turn to it at all. But that's the power of changing states, and I want you to know, right now, you are in that state. You are in a state, you did something habitual, you changed your assumptions, you changed your natural processes, you changed your beliefs, and you became who you are at this current moment. Like this wasn't an automatic thing. And I know it seems like it because it seems so easy, right? Right now, it seems really easy to have your name, live at your address, have your job. So easy, right? But why do we feel that getting or moving into the state of being with our specific person is going to be any different, right? It's going to be automatic. So if right now we're kind of having trust issues, feeling jealous, feeling worried about our specific person, that's the whole point of this work that we're doing internally, to switch that. Because you can definitely have the state or the being of being totally trusting, not any jealousy with your specific person that you love and cherish so much. That's the whole point of transition. And it's kind of crazy, but a lot of people overlook this idea that we are changing from our state into a different one. And I know you're like, right now you're like, well, Kyle, who could ever mistake that, right? Who wouldn't realize that we're switching states? But I will tell you, when we get in the process of like, we're chugging along, trying to do stuff, doing our affirmations, we sometimes forget that. And we try to, because again, tell me if this is something that you've ever been in, because I know I've been in this state before, where we're in a state, we don't want to change the state because that feels like work, but we still want to bring everything to us from a different state. And I know that might sound confusing, super abstract on the surface, but the trick is you need to change states to get something else. And it doesn't have to be crazy, right? It doesn't have to be a magnificent, really hard process because the state's all internally. Like if I were to switch your brain out with someone else's, instantly you would change a state, right? And there's so many cases of people switching states, even in my coaching sessions, of people who get a call from their specific person on the coaching call, or get texted right after, or get asked on a date right after. And you're like, well, how would that be possible if changing a state took a lot of time, took a lot of effort? Because on the call, I don't feel strained. They don't, maybe mentally they're thinking about it, but this isn't like some really hard, difficult work. It's just some ideas and way to like switch your mindset of what you're doing, and then follow kind of some strategic, that's a word, strategic outcomes and patterns and habitual processes to automatically feel in that end state. Because you guys know me, and I said at the beginning of this video, I'm pretty sure, manifestation meant to be easy, meant to be effortless. It's never meant to be difficult, hard, take a lot out of you. Like you can relax, again, take a deep breath. You don't have to be doing massive amounts of work. Like one of the main examples I use a lot in this channel is the idea of when you wake up, you're brushing your teeth with your toothbrush. Does that feel hard? Now switch your hand, switch it to your other hand. Try it. I always have people try it because everybody knows they're like, oh, it's going to be really hard. But that's such a quick and easy way to understand that state difference and how just switching what we're doing, doing something from the state of being right-handed to the state of being left-handed causes huge changes internally. But if you do that for a couple days, you're just going to automatically grab it with your left hand, right? It's like, and I know it sounds like I'm talking, the image is flipped, so this is my right hand even though it looks like my left to you guys. So just wanted to say that. But it's going to become really easy after you do it. And that's the same thing for anything, right? Literally any state, any outcome you want to get in. And that's why I've had people basically, so think about, again, the idea of getting a message, getting a date right after a coaching call. That is all like the physiological one. It's like getting into the belief of it. So we have to believe it can happen or it's not going to happen. And then making some like physiological change really quick to get us into that feeling state, knowing it's possible and then assuming it to happen. Because really, one of the questions I like to ask people is, what's stopping your specific person from messaging you after this video? If it happens, comment it below. But what is stopping that from happening? There's really nothing. Give me a reason why it could be stopped, and they'll give you a billion different reasons of why it actually can happen. Because everything is within your grasp. It's already alive within you. If you can imagine it, imagine the version of you, maybe right now, I kind of want to do another video on this, but imagine the version of you right now that gets a message from your specific person after this video, and dive into that. Actually, I don't want to dive into that because I want to actually make another video on that. So keep an eye out for that. But if you did have any questions on this idea, just leave it down below. Remember, you can also reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com. One more announcement too, I did it in my last video as well. So this Saturday, so tomorrow, because this should go up on Friday, this Saturday I'm doing a Manifest a Text from Your Ex seminar, so live seminar. So if you want to manifest a text from your ex or manifest any communication from your specific person, it doesn't have to actually be your ex. That's what we're going over on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't make it, that's okay. You'll still get a recording of the whole thing, and then you're also going to get a workbook. So I'm giving out a workbook afterwards of that same, of everything that we talk about, so you can continue working on it. So even if you can't make the seminar, you can watch it. I mean, obviously, if you don't see it live, you can't ask live questions, but you'll still see everything that we talked about, and you'll get it all for you. So check it out if you want. But if you wanted to kind of reach out for personal one-on-one coaching, maybe the seminars, the group seminars aren't your thing, maybe you want to work one-on-one with me, just head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com, and that's where you can sign up for Manifest a Text from Your Ex, or you can sign up for a phone call. Maybe we'll get you that message right after, like some of those other success stories that I mentioned. But thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I'm so happy. Hopefully I see you guys tomorrow at the seminar. But have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.